She is ranked nationally as one of the top agents in just 4 years. She's en route this year in 2025 to close on over 100 homes.
If you want to match my sales, match all the work I'm doing.
The number one fear of people is public speaking. Number two, I think, is death. Like, public speaking is scarier for people than dying.
It is good to be in a brokerage that encourages you and tells you like do XYZ, but at the end of the day, it's all literally on you.
Every single time you don't want to make that video, be on stories, educate your consumer. It's selfish of you to stay in your selfish fear or your selfish insecurity. So then what would you say to an agent right now that is still in their head?
I tell them ever since the first one.
Welcome to the Elite Way podcast, where we interview entrepreneurs, business owners, and leaders in the marketplace operating at the elite way. Today we have one of the most renowned top real estate agents in the Dallas-Fort Worth real estate market. She is ranked nationally as one of the top agents in just 4 years. She's en route this year in 2025 to close on over 100 homes. She has won multiple awards locally and nationally. You do not want to miss this whole interview. At the end of the interview, she drops her most precious nuggets for real estate agents. So today, without further ado, let's welcome Yecica Velasco to the Elite Way podcast. Yeci, I've been begging you to come on the podcast.
Just 2 weeks.
Huh?
Just for 2 weeks.
Just for 2 weeks. And finally, you're here. This is your first podcast, your first podcast ever, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I'm excited that you're on here.
I'm shy.
You're shy a little bit. Okay, let's get into it though. Okay, look at this. Okay, so one of the things that real estate agents aspire towards, or one of their first goals, they get licensed right out of real estate school, and their first goal is, I want to make 100K. You know, I want to hit that mark, and they hear it so much that in this industry that anybody can build a very successful real estate agent. Unfortunately, most don't. As a matter of fact, the National Association of Realtors says that 87% of agents don't make it in this industry. But your first year, you smashed that statistic, making well over six figures your first year. The way we see it is you were able to help so many families by serving them with excellence. I've seen how you operate your business in every aspect and so on. You truly love people. What did you do differently that helped you achieve that your very first year as a brand new agent?
So I never wanted to make, that was never the goal, to make $100,000. I think that's where it all came from. I started posting on social media. So posting on Instagram, posting on my stories, posting whatever I could, whatever knowledge I had at that moment, going to every class. But my goal was never to make X amount of money. It was always to help X amount of people. So I think that's where it came from. Gotcha.
And then you come from a real estate background of some sorts, right?
Yeah. So my dad has had rentals my whole life, and he builds like 2-3 houses a year for himself to sell.
Very cool.
But that's where it came from. I would always tell him I'm never going to have a rental property. Like, you're crazy. And here we are now. So I guess
that's why. Okay.
I did follow his footsteps.
So from the moment you were licensed until your first deal, how fast was that?
So I got licensed at the end of April. I joined the brokerage I was with in May, and my first client closed June 11th. I won't forget that.
Oh my gosh! So like,
and it was it was a random person on Instagram. They had no idea they were my first client.
Really?
Thank God I didn't mess it up. But
wow. Okay. So from Instagram, 1 month in, you you land your first deal.
Yes.
That's incredible. Okay, so with that said, Instagram is that your main source of business? Like, what do you do to lead generate?
So it is mostly Instagram. Since the very beginning, it was Instagram. Now, I mean, 5 years in. Wait, 5 years in? 4 years in now? It's mostly referrals as well. So thankfully, I get a lot of referrals now from past clients, and then I'm still getting a lot of clients from Instagram.
Gotcha. And Facebook, no?
Facebook, I have a lot of family on there, so the people from there are mostly my sphere that I do help.
Gotcha.
But it's not like strangers, you know, as the way Instagram is.
Oh, wow. Okay, it's interesting.
Because Instagram is straight strangers.
Gotcha.
Trusting me, which is great.
I notice how you will post like very differently on Facebook. You'll share memes and like things like that and so on, you know, versus on Instagram, it's more kind of like business. This is what I do. This is who I am. And you don't really just post randomly. It seems like you post very intentionally for people to find you, people to really see what you do, how you operate in your business and so on. Now, okay, when you are making your videos and so on, like for you personally, because this varies for every agent, I think, but like what content really works for you? Like what do you feel really is like, oh wow, every time I like make this post or do this content, like it really seems to resonate and or work. And do you do more stories or actual like reels and posts?
So I have checked my engagement, and typically I get the most engagement from stories. I don't know why.
Really? Okay.
But people will watch, which is really good that I have good engagement on there, because I do post a lot on stories, like educational things, just tips, things you should be doing, stuff like that.
For sure.
But I would probably say stories.
You know what's wild is this? Check this out. Agents sleep on stories. I cannot believe they don't do like stories every single day. I read a recent Instagram stat that said 70% of people that log onto Instagram at work, in the bathroom, in bed, wherever it's wanted, 70% will never scroll the post. They'll only scroll through stories. So it's crazy how many agents literally do not like
take advantage of the story.
Use it more. It's wild.
Well, stories are interesting too. You have to post with intention on stories. If you post too many stories, you don't get a lot of views. If you post like 4 stories a day, my views would be like in the 2,000s, where I'm not getting 2,000 likes on a post.
That's a lot of views.
Yeah, and it is a lot of views. But if you post too many, it doesn't show. Okay. So that's why I watch what I post on stories and make sure it's worth the while.
Yeah.
Because if not, it's not gonna get shown anyway.
So what do you share on stories? Like what?
Well, if I'm posting myself talking, and that's already 2 clips, then my other 2 clips for the day are gonna be showing or whatever else I'm doing, you know? And I'm not saying I'm limited to 4, but I've noticed whenever I have a lot of stories, a lot of little dots, my views are low. And I'm like, oh, you're punishing me for being active. So let me
dude, stop.
Let me tone it down. Yeah, which is interesting, but I do post an actual post every single day or a reel, and then on stories. Yeah,
I will post about 8 times probably, from the morning until
But I'm saying if you have 20 bubbles, it's done with you.
Gotcha. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it would be hard to find
because people I feel like start tapping through.
That's a lot of I like showing kind of what my morning looks like and my evening in the office with agents.
When I post my daughter, I get a lot of views.
I bet.
When I post something happened, I fainted, oh my God, that day I had 3,000 views, and I was like...
You fainted? What happened? What do you mean you fainted?
Well, I fainted, and it was funny because in the morning I had posted, you guys will never guess what I'm doing today. But I was going to go to Peppa Pig and it had just opened.
Oh, yeah,
I think
yeah,
I told you. And then I ended up fainting at Peppa Pig, which I was in my first trimester.
Oh my goodness.
So
that's right. You're almost due now.
yes, I'm almost there. 6 weeks to go.
And you're doing the podcast. That's fire.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this.
So then I posted later on in the evening. I was like, I also never guessed what I was going to do today. Like, here I am at the hospital. You know, I fainted. I was like, really? Y'all are chismosos. Like, that's what they cared about, you know, which is fine. But I was like, oh.
So, okay. So then stories versus your reels and your posts. So, like, what reels are you making and, like, actual posts and so on?
So my posts are actually houses or my listings or my closings. And typically on those, I'll share like what we were able to negotiate for the buyer or what we were able to do for the seller, that kind of thing. And on my stories, it's more so like my day to day. So I feel like that's why people like to tune into the stories. Because at the end of the day, they want to know you're a real person. And typically by the time they book a consultation or meet with me, they give me a hug, like we know each other. Like, hey, you know, where's your daughter? And I'm like, you know, my daughter, you know, like, but they already
That's cool.
peeped your whole life, you know, through there. So they do know your whole life almost at that point.
One of the things I've said is this, you know, because that's video. I mean, you are using video to build your brand, build your trust, build your authority in this space and so on. And so my perspective has always been video is the handshake before the handshake even happens.
Yeah.
You know, so what you said, like when people see you, they're like, oh my gosh, Yesy, you know, and you're like, oh, hi.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't know them, but they know all about me. And I'm like, let's fill me in on your life now, you know? Funny. And we click, like it's cool because I rather them like to meet me instead of like think I'm unapproachable.
For sure.
So it works out.
Okay, so when people contact you via like a message in the DM or a response to a story and so on, what do you do next? Like, do you like have a full-on conversation on Instagram, or do you quickly are like, okay, how do I get this person out of Instagram and on the phone or in a meeting in person? Like, what do you do? What's your process?
If it's a Calendly that they're booking, because I have Calendly on my bio. If they book on Calendly, then I'll typically text them and say, hey, I'm excited to meet you. I don't know, my Calendly is weird because it just lets you anytime. So sometimes I'm like, hey, I'm happy to meet you, but can we go this time instead of this time? You know, that kind of. Yeah, I'm like, let me edit the time. I know. I need to work on it.
Walk you through that after this.
We'll work on that. So I typically message them and say like, hey, I'm happy to meet you. See you Friday, see you Saturday, whatever day. And this is a list of documents to bring. And this is my office location. So I have a 2 Canva post that I send them with the docs they need to bring and a picture of the building.
So good.
So they know where they're coming, you know?
Wow.
And then I send that out.
Very intentional.
Well, just because
that's fire.
I feel like they'll miss it.
Okay.
And then I moved.
It's good.
And then I moved brokerages in May, so it's only been May, June, July, 3 months here.
Really?
So I feel like people don't know where I am now.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
But it's not far, so it's okay. But that's typically what I do with Calendly. When they message me on Instagram, typically I'm like, okay, the first thing we need to do is get on a phone call so I can understand what you're trying to do, and I can walk you through the steps of either home buying or selling. Gotcha. So send me your number and a good time to call you, and we'll book that. That way we can get on a phone call and go over everything.
Yeah.
Because I just going back and forth on Instagram I feel like there's no commitment to that.
Sure. Yeah,
people just stop replying, or they got the answer they wanted and they don't, nothing happens from there.
So good.
So once we get on a call, typically I'm like, you want to set up a meeting with my lender at the office, or do you want me to go to your house to give you comps? If you're trying to sell, what are we doing, Okay. So we have more of a solution.
Got you. No, for sure. Agents, listen to what she's saying. Get out of your DMs as fast as possible, okay?
Run.
This is coming from someone that literally sells 100 homes a year, okay? Get out of your DMs on the phone as fast as possible. Because honestly, we have agents that like, Steve, oh my gosh, like they stopped responding. And we ask them, okay, do you have their phone number? No. I'm like, okay, what about their email at least? No. I mean, they stayed in the DMs and the conversation died in the DM.
Yeah,
So
it does.
You are right. Like you want to meet them there, but as fast as possible, hey, let's hop on a call. Let me hear your voice. I want to hear your voice.
Yeah.
Et cetera, right?
And I think it also helps them be less intimidated by the whole process.
Yeah, for sure.
So it just helps the whole situation. It's already scary enough for a buyer. Why not just talk to me like a real person and we can come up with what we're going to achieve here,
I love that. Okay, so then you say, hey, either send me a DM and or click the link in my bio, which is a calendar. Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. Okay, so look at this. The number one fear of people is public speaking. I think it's literally number one. Number two, I think it's death. Like, public speaking is scarier for people than dying, I think it is. Okay, so look at this.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so because of that, so many agents fear doing video. So many agents fear putting themselves on stories, and I think the fears really come from
insecurities.
They're insecure. I don't like how I talk. I don't like how I look. I don't like how I sound. I don't want to say something
dumb.
Yeah, like 100 excuses and so on. Okay, so what did you do to overcome all those mental hurdles? Because honestly,
I just overcame them last week. What do you mean?
It's all in your head, Like, I see you in your car on your stories and you're just like full of confidence. And I know that's Instagram, and behind the scenes you're like, okay, here I go. Okay.
I record the videos like 10 times. I'm no different than any other person struggling with it, but also I feel like that's the best way to get through to someone. Like, you have to show what you're doing.
For sure.
If you're not even willing to talk, then people aren't going to trust you.
For sure. Okay, so then what would you say to an agent right now that is still in their head?
Just do it.
Like, struggling, like, okay, I know I have to hit record. I know I have to do those stories. Like, what the hell?
I tell, like, when I had more mentees, I'm down to one mentee at this point, but I'm not taking any because of the baby and all that. But I tell them ever since the first one, how do you want it? Do you want to work 9 to 5? Like, what do you want to do?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you want to go call Zillow leads? What do you want? Because I can only tell you so many times to record on your stories, to post yourself, to show up, I can give you an outline. Post X amount of reels a week, post this every day, that kind of thing. But if you don't want it, I can't want it more than you do.
Yeah.
So maybe being self-employed isn't for you. As bad as it sounds, don't waste your time trying to, and I think everybody wants to be a realtor too, which makes it worse. Like, it's so cool and glamorous.
It's so fun.
And nobody realizes how much work is in it. So it looks so fun and everyone wants to do it. And then people will come, will you mentor me? And I'm like, do you see all the work I'm doing? That's the work you're going to need to do.
For sure.
So don't expect these results with what work you're trying to do.
Why do you think?
Don't try to match. If you want to match my sales, match all the work I'm doing. You can't just pick, let me sell all of that, but not put in any work,
For sure. Why do you think that the perception is real estate's easy?
I don't know.
Social media, maybe, they just see,
I cried my first 5 deals. I never said it was easy. I was like, why did I do this,
Yeah.
But I did it to help my dad. That was the initial start. My mom had COVID. She couldn't watch my baby, so I had to watch her. So I had to find a self-employed job.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I also didn't have the option to be weak and not do it,
For sure. No, okay.
You got to make it.
We tell agents all the time, real estate is 80% mental.
It's
and
rough.
only 20% of what you actually do.
Mm-hmm.
You can learn how to write a contract and learn how to show homes, et cetera, but this has to be done by you. Like,
And that's the hardest part because no
100%.
one's your boss. No one's telling you what to do.
100%.
Especially if you come from corporate, which I came from corporate, like a structured 9-to-5 job.
Really?
I was like, who's going to tell me what to do? Nobody?
Yeah.
Somebody?
Yeah. What were you doing prior?
I was scheduling surgeries for a doctor. But that's when COVID hit, so we were elective surgeries. So we couldn't get any ORs, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's 80% mental and it's 20% like what you actually do. Showing a house is the easiest part, right?
Yeah.
Overcoming and or developing the mindset you need as a business owner, as someone that you have to understand that real estate really rises and falls on you.
Yeah.
Right? No one's gonna save you. No one's gonna make the videos for you. No one's gonna give you a lead.
Literally.
You know, right? Yeah, you know, and so it's really in industry where you have to develop the mindset needed to overcome, I mean, so many obstacles you are going to face, right? You know, we most agents have to grind as they build, right? I mean, you're just like grinding through not only the work, the emotions of like, I have a contract now, but I don't have a contract next month.
Yeah.
And, you know, but, and in your lows, having the mindset of staying consistent. Like, it's hard, right?
It is. This was probably my lowest month of
work,
July.
right?
Yeah. No,
You don't
I've
want to,
been
like,
there.
you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I have no energy. That sucks. You know, like, no contracts. No one's in my DMs. I mean, it's those moments that make or break an agent that operates at the elite way. Okay, so whenever you've hit those moments, what do you do?
I keep going.
What do you say to yourself, though?
Well, I could be having the worst day. I could cry on my way to showings and I'm still going to go show. Because what are you going to do?
Yeah, for sure.
It's rough. It is good to be in a brokerage that encourages you and tells you, like, do XYZ or try this, try that. You know, that does help. But at the end of the day, it's all literally on you. And you have to think about that, too. Like, I tell a lot of agents that ask me, how do you do it, this and that? And I'm like, you have nothing for next month.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? Like, if today is the 29th, a contract will take a month to close. If you're not under contract today, you're not going to have no closings in August. I mean, think about it.
Savage.
But it's the truth,
yeah,
you know?
No, for sure. Yep.
And I'm like, but I also can't want you to be more successful than you are. And I think it comes with a lot of personality, too, because sometimes I have people show houses, you know, help me out, that kind of thing. And the clients will tell me, they just open the door, like, they don't say anything. When are you coming? Or if I'm on vacation, when are you going to come? I'm like, okay, hold on, let me just make sure I show you, you know, or they're like, we don't want anyone else to show us. Can you just show us? And I'm like, okay. But it's also just because they're like, she didn't explain anything, or she just opened the door and felt like she didn't want to be there. Gotcha, so I'm like, you can't be self-employed and not want to be there. For
sure, yeah. You know, one of the ways that I also view the perspective of when agents want to stay in their fears, when they want to stay in their insecurities, when they want to stay in their whatever they feel is like holding them back. Like, it's selfish of you to stay in that place when we're in an industry called to serve people.
Customer service.
100%.
Yeah.
And so our job really has to be to, okay, I am going to break through the fears because I want to make sure I can serve you with excellence, with my all, with my best, and so on. And so a perspective that agents should have is this. Every single time you don't want to make that video, be on stories, educate your consumer, you know, whatever it is, and so on. Like, it's selfish of you to stay in your selfish fear or your selfish insecurity, knowing that behavior isn't you operating in a elite way or and or servicing the consumer with excellence. You know what I mean? So it's selfish to stay in those places. But like you said, though, I think it's very important to also be in a environment that really encourages you, empowers you to like break through those realms and mindsets and hurdles and so on, you know? Now, you said vacation, and people always hit you up. The moment you step foot on an airplane, your phone all of a sudden blows up, right? Everybody wants you now, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are a very busy person. You are a full-time wife.
Can't be part-time.
Full-time. You are a full-time mom of an amazing daughter. She's so sweet, by the way. Okay, and you are a expecting mom. Due in 6 weeks, you know.
Yeah.
Please don't faint in this interview, okay? You know, but okay. And on top of that, like you are one of the top agents in all of Texas, in the nation. Like, how do you do it? How do you balance it where like you can be at home, you can be on a date night, you can be with your daughter, you know, you can go on vacation, and at the same time, I mean, just like literally run a killer business?
I don't think there's a schedule. It just comes as it goes.
I like that.
And my husband's in the same industry at this point.
Yeah.
He's been, he's a loan officer. He's been lending now for 2 years, a year and a half.
Okay.
So I feel like it's more understandable now because another thing that grinds my gears about agents, they never take their computer with them. And I'm like, you work on there. Why are you here and your computer's not with you, you know? So he used to get on to me when we would go like to the state fair. I would run out the house with my laptop and I'm like, it's a 40-minute drive. Like I can work in these 40 minutes, you know? And he was like, girl, leave that computer. I swear if you take it inside the state fair. And one time I did have to take it inside the state fair.
Oh my, Yesy.
Well, it's because we have deadlines and I didn't have a transaction coordinator at that point. So I was like, it's me. Yeah. You know? Or I can text one of my homegirls like, is anyone near their computer?
Yeah.
To send this for me? You know, that kind of thing. But I think it just comes with it. My first year was, I was new for one. And then it was my obviously slowest year because it was slow. Okay, I know you don't think it was slow, but it was not as busy as the following years because my daughter wasn't in school yet. So after, I started when she was 2. So she wasn't in school my first year. She wasn't in school my second year. And then the last 2 years she was in school. So I think I was super busy the last 2 years. Yeah. But it was because she was in school, so I knew she was somewhere, and I would try to get all my work done from 8 to 3.
Wow.
And then obviously if I had showings in the afternoon, well, we got it done, you know?
Yeah,
but
for sure.
At least on the days I didn't have showings, okay, I have these hours. That way I can manage life and make sure she's somewhere taken care of and I can get my work done, and by the time she's home, then I'm, you know, all attention on her kind of thing.
I love it. So in a lot of ways, your husband also knows that he shares his wife with a lot of families, right? Like, you know, because you're just like serving them on the weekends at times. Yeah. Sometimes in the evenings, maybe, you know. And so, okay, so your love for people, your love to see people achieve home ownership. What is one of the most favorite parts of the process for you whenever you are helping out a family?
I probably like when they go under contract more than when they close.
Really?
They get so happy and it's so cool, you know, like they're happy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like
is this for real?
We got the house, you know, and by closing they're still excited, but I feel like nothing beats the, hey, your offer was accepted, you're under contract. Or when they get approved, they're so happy just because I feel like people don't realize how hard it is to get approved. So by the time they're approved, it's like, heck yeah, I made it. You know, I actually got pre-approved. I qualified. Yeah. Instead of, you know, hey, your debt to income is too low or too high or this and that, then it's harder, you know? And then they get discouraged and they might not try again for like 3 years.
It's true. That happens a lot. But
Yeah.
That happens if agents aren't following up with their database.
Yeah.
You know, hey, how's it going, and so on. Agents, I know that you hate hearing that word, but you have to be building out your database, nurturing your database, and never letting a client fall through the cracks. Every single time that happens, remember, it's a family that could be served.
Yeah.
You know, and so, okay, so what is one of your favorite stories where you were literally like, this was amazing, I'm so thankful, you know, like just like, you know, this awesome story that like just inspired you, motivated you, like we got it done, this family, you know, was amazing, they got the house, like what's the story? Don't name names because every family we serve is amazing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, but what's a scenario that happened where, you know, or a
I mean, there's
story,
been a
you know,
couple. I've had someone get engaged at closing.
No way, really?
Yeah,
That's never happened to me.
gave them keys. We went to the house, and I had their closing gift there, which she was pregnant. She's pregnant, so this was recently this year. I bought her a crib.
Really, this year?
Yeah, I bought her a crib, and then it was a TV and like some other stuff, and her husband was proposing, and I was like, whoa. Well, not her husband, her fiance now, but he was proposing outside, and I was like, well, I'm missing this. Hold on, you know?
No way.
So that was cool. I've had people cry at closing because, especially if they thought they could never purchase a home if they're not from here. It was an I-10 file, which Craig will tell you, the one that came yesterday. He closed that deal, so they were crying. They were hugging us. They were like not letting us go. I mean, we were crying too, but it was very emotional, you know,
cool.
for them. I've had... I'm trying to remember the best. I mean, they've gotten engaged. Oh, I had one announce her pregnancy. I didn't even know she was pregnant. We closed, and she's like, let me get something in my purse. And he had the key, and she had the sonogram.
Did he know?
Yeah, he knew.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, I don't know, like, hey, babe,
she's like,
we're pregnant. You
she's
know,
like,
we
this
got
is
a house.
how we're going to tell everyone. Like, we bought a house and we're having a baby. And I was like, whoa.
Dude, that's...
So I've had
that
cool...
is heck of marketing for you, though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like, I mean, you know, hey, we're announcing it. By the way, she's our agent. I'm the agent, you know? Like, I mean, that's cool.
It is cool. Usually they'll collab with me, you know?
Yeah.
They let me also get the post, but it's emotional. I think everyone gets excited.
Okay, is there any horror story that has happened where, like, you know, I don't know, like, something crazy happened, or you were showing a house and it was like a scary moment, or I don't know, something, you know?
I mean, I showed a house once and I looked down and there was fleas all over my feet.
Oh my
The house was
gosh,
full of fleas. Yeah, it was horrible.
Like fleas.
Like fleas. I was like, ah! I didn't know I could run that fast until I ran to the street, you know? But it was gross. But I also think people don't realize things like that can happen.
All the time. Like, no,
like I've gone to houses with roaches, you know, but I was like, what are all these black dots? And it was just fleas.
That is gross.
I've had that was like a gross moment.
That's
but I've
wild.
also had like an agent say like, we're suing you and your seller, we're doing X, and I'm like, okay. So I mean, there's been scary moments too, and my past broker was like, well, when you're doing the volume you're bound to like piss someone off, you know?
Yeah.
But it wasn't something we did wrong. It was something, you know, everyone throws I'm suing around like it's no big deal. Everyone's trying to sue you.
That's funny.
I had two people, and I'm like, if you're going to tell me, do it.
Oh my gosh. Yes, she's the worst.
Well, it's like, and I tell my clients the same thing. Like, they terminated on a new construction house, and they're like, we want to sue the builder. And I'm like, if you're going to tell the builder you're going to sue them, do it.
Yeah.
Because they get it thrown around left and right. Like, you better stand on your word.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And it's more expensive to sue than to just come to an agreement. So I'm like, why are you going to say that?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so like with that, so oftentimes people that are buying a house, okay, once they're under contract, they get nervous like, oh my gosh, we're in contract. Babe, is this a house? Are we sure? Like, I mean, all these emotions and thoughts start happening like, will we be able to afford it? Did we pick the right house? Is this the right neighborhood? Like what do you do or what do you say in those moments like that?
So It doesn't happen that often, and I think it's because we explain it so much when we're looking at houses and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's not often that it happens that they get freaked out. And honestly, I have a lot of first-time buyers, and if they're like under 25, they're very YOLO. Like they're
Really?
happy, they're down. They're like,
roll the dice, let's
hell
go.
yeah, this was good, let's go. You know, I think it's people who are older that start overthinking more, which is oddly enough, but that's what I've seen.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because a lot of my clients are like getting married, having babies, and like she's coming pregnant to the showings. You know, they're planning a wedding, they're spending all this money, and they're buying a house. And then there's people who can't, like, they have to only buy the house. That can be the only thing on their mind, you know?
For sure. Yeah.
I don't think it's multitasking. I think it's like you can't have too much on your plate, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure.
I don't know. It's weird.
So you must have some systems in place, you know, when it comes to just how you operate. You know, what's something that every single week is a non-negotiable for you in your business? Like whether it's a weekly email, whether it's, you know, a certain video you do, whether it's, I don't know, you know, just what's something that every single week has to be done when it comes to Yecica Velasco's real estate business?
I mean, I wouldn't say I have a per se one thing, but every week I follow up with the people under contract, with the people pre-approved, and with sellers. Even if the update is there's no update, I have to follow up with those.
Yeah.
You know, because every week I post on social media, so that's already a non-negotiable bit on a weekly basis, you know?
Yeah, for sure. It's wild how many people do not follow up with their current clients, huh? This is kind of like...
Yeah, like they just wait for closing. And every week, even if, you know, we're out of option, the appraisal's being ordered, that kind of thing, I'm still, hey, do you guys have any questions? Hey, you know, just popping by. Are y'all good? Do y'all need anything? You know, and I do tell them once we go out of option and once the appraisal gets ordered, hey, it's going to get a little quiet. Don't get scared.
I like that. That's cool.
Just
for sure.
The lender's finishing their job, title's finishing their job. So don't get scared. You know, I'm still here, but just so you know, it's going to get quiet for the next 2 weeks. And that way they're not just like, what's going on? You know, am I missing something? Are y'all going to tell me anything?
You know what? That is leading your clients emotionally. So you emotionally.
So maybe that's why they don't leave.
Prepare them. You know, like, hey, look at this. It's going to be quiet. Don't worry. Peace. Calm. Like you know, because I mean,
just because I tell them like all the work is pretty much done up front in the first couple of days that we go under contract. We're negotiating repairs. You're depositing earnest, option, you know, that kind of thing. But don't freak out.
So
but I also make it very known that I'm still here in case they do have a question. But don't get scared if we're not like texting you every single day.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so like every transaction you are working with a lender, with title person, inspector, I mean, multiple parties. Like people don't really understand how many parties we have to speak to, right? Like every transaction. And so, especially someone like you, when in average months for you, you have 10 different clients under contracts. And sometimes that can mean 10 agents on the other side, 10 lenders on the other side, 10 escrow companies on the other side, and so on. And on top of that, you are trying to show houses to your next wave of clients, buying homes. On top of that, you have...
I literally call them waves.
Their inspections, you know, you have their appraisals and so on. Okay, what do you say to an agent that is drowning when they only have 1 or 2 transactions going on? Like, oh my gosh, I'm so busy. You're like...
I don't know. It's because I'm always like this. Like maybe I have... Remember I told you I had ADHD probably?
I think...
So I move too much, you know? So I think to me... And then I learned like, okay, this month, like when I started, I was slower and I slowly built up to the point that now I feel like I can manage it, you know, a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not... I'm like, it's just not that bad, you know? Like administrate your time or... I don't know.
Okay.
Know what y'all are doing.
So I know what you mean let me phrase it this way, okay? What mindset did you have to what mindsets did you have to grow into and or develop in order to be at this place? You know, because a lot of people, you know, what you're saying is that, hey, I have the mindset that I just have to do it. It has to get done.
Yeah.
Okay. So what new mindset did you have to like step into in order to be here?
I think just scheduling your day out better. I've always been very quick, like on the next thing, you know? So I think once you start building yourself and your clients, like, okay, this month I have 2 closings, next month I have 3, 4, you know, like you learn to like build up, you know, I guess like your stamina and work in a workout way, but like in a work way.
Yeah.
But it also depends, like, okay, maybe that's all you can take. If you're really freaking out with 1 closing a month, maybe try to stay there, you know, because it's not going to be good if you start dropping the ball with like your other clients if you do get busier. Or hire help if it's that.
For sure.
Bad.
Okay, so if you were starting real estate all over again, you know, because now you have a different mindset, you have been very successful at it, okay? And so knowing what you know now, okay, if you were to restart all over again, okay, what would you be doing?
I think the only thing I would have done different would be to start my database when I started. Because I didn't.
Yeah, for sure. Because now you've serviced hundreds of families, and for anyone that never did it and you've done that much business, like it's not easy going back and okay, who are the families that I helped out and just like, you know, having to go find everyone's email, et cetera, right? So from the get-go, right, is what you're saying. Is like, hey, build out your database from the get-go because later it just becomes impossible, right?
It is. It's harder. But the good thing is that we had the program that you just got.
Yeah.
So I have like everyone's name attached to everyone's address. If I want to go, if I want to go find it, it's in an Excel sheet. So I know who everyone is, and that kind of thing. But yeah, it would have been nice to have it all organized.
Okay, let's let some agents have some nuggets. Okay, how would you encourage a real estate agent that is either new and or is struggling in the current market we're in? What's the number one thing you would say, hey, this is what you have to do and go all in on it? What is that?
Go to a brokerage that's going to motivate you. Get a mentor. But keep in mind, your mentor is not your boss. Like, you're only going to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
No one's going to hold your hand, you know? I tell my other girls, like, I can lead you to the water, but I'm not going to make you drink it. So that's on you, you know, that kind of thing.
True.
But when I started, I would go to all the classes, title classes, the classes the brokerage offered, that kind of thing, just to learn because you don't know anything. Champions, real estate school only teaches you how to pass the exam, not get sued.
Yeah.
No one teaches you, how do I get a client? What do I say to the client? What do they need to get pre-approved? You know, meet people. But you have to get out of your house and try. Because being home, like I said, you don't have a boss. You can be home all day, but that's not going to do anything for you.
For sure. One of my favorite things about you, okay, and like I have said this to so many people, okay?
Scared.
Were your ears itchy? You know what? When I talk about you, you know. But one of my favorite things about you, Yeci, okay, is besides how humble you are, okay, and I mean, you literally are the agent that will help out anybody, and I love that about you. But it's wild, okay? So you being one of the top agents in the state, in the nation, okay? All this experience, you've had hundreds and hundreds of families served, you know, and yet you still show up for trainings, classes. And then why I love that is this: the best leaders never stop growing. And then, you know, my perspective always is, even if you've heard something before, like that next time you hear it could be the time that you hear it very
and it clicks
differently, and it clicks, and then something shifts, and all of a sudden your business just goes to the next level. You know, what happens is so many agents are like, oh, I've heard that before. But the reality is that you've heard it before, but it hasn't clicked yet because you're not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And it's one of those things where it's just, you just keep showing up, you just keep learning, keep growing. And that's something I absolutely love about you, is that you're always learning, you're always showing up, you're always asking, you're always seeing, you know, what could I learn from other agents, from what's being taught, like, and so I think in a lot of ways, that truly is what separates you from the pack. There's a pack out there.
There's a pack.
You know, and your willingness and your humbleness to, hey, I will never know it all. You know, I always say, like in my head, Steve, you will never know it all. And so I'm always open to learning, even from agents that are like newer than me, that have less experience. Like sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, that's actually really good.
Yeah.
I need to do it that way.
There's always something to learn from someone, I think, is a thing. And people don't realize that. Like if someone is selling less than me and I have a conversation, they're doing something, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So they're providing your value with something, you know, like you exchange that, I guess. But
yeah,
you never will. My daughter, I already know everything. I'm like, girl, you don't know nothing, you know? But she's the prime example of, I already know everything. I'm like,
your girl, that girl leads.
Yeah, she does.
At that age, I mean, she is going to be one of those that just bulldozes.
She's going to have to be self-employed because
Goes
she can't.
For it, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so look at this. You are very big in your faith, you know? God is a big part of your family, what you do. I see it on your Instagram stories every single Sunday. You're in the golf cart, you know, they pick up the
Luciana winks his
pregnant
way.
lady, you know, hey, she's pregnant, let's go pick her up, you know? And then, you know, she'll
stand by the car, though. Huh? She'll stand by the car. Wait, Mom, they're going to come for us.
That's so
I'm like,
funny.
We can start walking.
It's epic. Okay, so how do you incorporate your faith in just everything you do?
It's just everything you do, literally.
I love that
We
response.
tried having it's funny because we tried having a baby for a year. And then I was like, wait, the only thing I haven't done is prayed about it.
Wow.
And then I did, and I was like, oh shit, I'm pregnant. So it worked out, you know, but it's literally like in anything you do, like you just hand it to him and he'll figure it out.
So cool.
Yeah.
I love that. And
don't make me cry.
Huh?
Don't make me cry right now. I don't feel like talking about God right now.
Well, you know, I absolutely love when agents, you know, bring their faith into what they're doing, because I love your response. It's not that I bring my faith into it. It's just who I am. It's just who you are, what you do, and it's evident by how you work your business and how you serve people, you know. And so I feel that your response, you know, it's just who I am, and like people feel that from you, and I think that truly has been one of the reasons why people just want to work with you, you know.
I think they see the intentions you come with, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And so, okay. Last question here. We are gonna start wrapping it up here and so on. Okay, what is one of your favorite things about living in the Dallas-Fort Worth region? It's exploding over here. You know, it's growing so much. We're getting amusement parks and restaurants and so on. Like, what's something fun you like doing in this region on your free time?
What free time? I'm just kidding.
Besides being home, you know what I'm saying? I'm a homebod. Like,
When I'm have free time, I like to be home. I like to enjoy
too.
my mortgage because we're never there.
Okay, but if you go out, like, you know, what areas do you enjoy? Do you like hanging out in Fort Worth? Do you visit Frisco? You
No,
know,
we
that's
stay in
blowing
Fort
up
Worth.
And, okay.
And we go to restaurants that have playgrounds.
Okay, what's your favorite restaurant in Fort Worth, Texas?
I don't think I have a favorite restaurant, but we go to places with playgrounds because we're parents now. So
Central Market has a playground. We go
Central
there actually for
Market,
dinner sometimes.
Zoli's, yeah, that's where we go because we have a kid. But I love Don Artemio's, so I just went this weekend.
Dude, they're what's it called?
The nopales?
No, they're
Tres leches.
Tres leches.
Guessing
Oh
it.
my gosh, best dessert.
Yeah.
In all of DFW. I don't care where you go visit. There's a plug if the restaurant ever hears about this. Their tres leches will change your life. Sometimes Esther and I, we will hit up dinner somewhere else.
And just go there for dessert.
Go there for dessert.
Yeah, we just went on Sunday.
It's that good.
And I want that now that I'm pregnant. I'm like, let's go get Don Artemio's. And I won't even get an actual meal. I'll just get an appetizer and dessert.
Crazy. I love it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, Yesy, it was so fun hanging out with you. Thanks for kind of like letting us in to your world. I know that you are very busy. You're busy right now as well. You're about to give birth to number 2. Very exciting. It's another girl, right?
Yes.
2 girls. Good luck.
2 chatterboxes.
2 chatterboxes. I got 3 of them, literally.
My husband just tagged me on a post today, and it was like, I married a yapper, and now I have a mini yapper. And
Oh
I was
my
like,
gosh.
you're about to have 2 mini yappers.
That's so funny.
But my biggest scare is speech delay, so I'm like, it's fine, baby. Keep talking. Talk all you want.
That's hilarious.
'Cause it's scary.
Okay, one last little phrase. Encourage agents. Go ahead. Last little nugget, right here. What's on your heart? Say, hey, real estate agents. You know, this is it. Go
Get
do
on
it.
social media. It's free. It's there. You're not paying a lead. You're not splitting half of it with Zillow. Just
love
be
it.
try. You know, give yourself a schedule. Give yourself a calendar.
I love it. If you want to have Yesy back on the podcast, and we'll actually do a deep dive into social media strategies, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, comment down below and say, Yesy, we need more of you. We all need more Yesy. And so thanks so much for being on the podcast. It was fun.
It was.
You had fun?
Yeah.
It was easy, huh?
It wasn't bad.
It was awesome. Agents are going to get so much out of this. Business owners are, in general. Thanks for being on.
My kid's been moving the whole time.